Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Unfortunately, some people in our community take advantage of others for their own personal greed, gain and satisfaction. Over the last 2 months, we've seen a notable increase in matters reported to police in relation to counterfeit currency at retail business premises. In the month of August, we had 83 reports to police, and then that increased to 124 in September. The majority are certainly in the metropolitan area, but there's certainly been a number through regional areas of South Australia. Offenders are typically using high-denomination notes, either a $50 or $100 note, that they're trying to use and make small purchases to then gain legitimate currency from that. It's important that people are aware of this practice that is currently seems to be increasing at the moment. We certainly don't want businesses to be shortchanged or any other innocent members of the public to be shortchanged as well from the counterfeit currency. There's a number of common signs that you can pick up from the notes. Generally, the feel of the note isn't quite right, and even the some of the security features on the note, which we'll show you afterwards in relation to some aspects, aren't quite accurate as well. So there's some, at times, misspelt words. There's sometimes words written on the bottom in relation to props or not legal tender, and sometimes the colour actually isn't quite right as well. However, we do understand that certainly in some business premises, in a bit of a rush or at different times, it might easily be able to be missed, and the offenders get away with it. As I said, there's certainly been that noticeable increase. We want people to be aware of it, just so that more people aren't ripped off. What we want you to do, if anyone actually does see the notes or has the notes, try to minimise the handling of them as much as possible. Put them in an envelope, because we will be able to get some forensic evidence from that, hopefully. Report it to police so that we actually do know what is actually occurring. You can have a look at your CCTV, that might assist in identifying some of the offenders. And everyone certainly has the right not to accept any of that currency if you actually think someone's coming in that doesn't have a legitimate note, but we certainly don't want people to be putting themselves at any harm's way by declining that to a customer. Majority of the offences are from a Commonwealth point of view in relation to counterfeit currency, but there's also local state laws that we use in relation to deception, which carries a maximum penalty of 10 years. And over the last couple of months, we've certainly had a number of offenders arrested. A few months ago, there was a gentleman with about $60, $100 notes. He's currently going through the courts. He's next appearing in the Elizabeth Magistrates Court in November. And then more recently, a few weeks ago, a 29-year-old man was arrested for a number of other matters, and we located just under $12,000 in counterfeit currency that he had, and that investigation is continuing, and he'll be appearing in court on the 15th of October. So happy to take any questions.
Is that hard to get forensics off of notes because they're handled by the people that then grab them?
Yeah, it depends. It depends how, if it comes straight into the store and quickly identify it and you can quickly put it into an envelope and secure it, then there could be some possibilities for fingerprints or DNA, generally from fingerprints. So it depends how much it's been handled. So
you said you've seen a surge the last 2 months. What's driving that? Yeah,
we don't really know. As I said, there's always, unfortunately, the crooks are always looking for an opportunity to scam someone, and that's exactly what they're doing now. At times it might be that someone may have produced quite a number of them and has distributed them out. That's why we might see that increase. As I said, these are the matters that are reported to police. There may be a lot of others. We certainly want people to report it to us so that we're aware of it. We don't want people to put it back into circulation thinking, let someone else get ripped off. We don't want that at all. Let us know so we can actually do something about it. And like a couple of these cases where some of these people have had quite significant amounts, obviously the second person a lot more than the others, so they might be the people that may be photocopying or whatever they're doing and passing them out. And as I said, it doesn't take too much to go into a store with a $50 counterfeit note and buy a can of Coke and end up with $45 cash, and you just do it to a few people, and unfortunately the retailer is out of pocket, which is not a good thing. So.
Could it be opportunistic and coinciding with people, a bit of a rise in cash because people are not wanting to pay surcharges with cards?
Yeah, look, I think that whole issue in relation to not many people really carry too much cash around at the moment, well, certainly over the last number of years. But there is still a cash economy, so there will always be people in stores willing to take cash. So there'll always be someone, unfortunately, these crooks looking to take advantage of the good community that majority of us are, to rip people off, and we want them to be held account.
Is there anything being done to support these businesses who have lost out because they've accepted this money?
Sorry.
Is there any support being offered to these businesses who have accepted?
No, look, unfortunately, if they've accepted the currency of no value, it's virtually just like a piece of paper. So that's why we're coming to the public and letting people know, so that people actually pay a little bit more attention when you are dealing with some cash, just to generally be able to feel and see if something's actually not quite right with the notes. So.
Just on another matter, is there any update about a man who was found dead at Lonsdale yesterday? Yeah,
that investigation is continuing. Police are still at the scene. We're having a look at quite a number of other addresses and locations that we might be able to paint a bit of a picture in relation to the male as to what his movements have been over the last few days. There was an autopsy done this morning, so at this stage it's a little bit too early to determine an exact cause of death, but that investigation is ongoing. And once we have some further details in relation to that, we'll certainly put that out. So.
Has he found significant injuries?
No, it's undetermined at this stage. We know that he's been there, may have been there for a couple of days. So as I said, that's the reasons as to why the post-mortem this morning, to see what results come from that. And as I said, as soon as we can have some further details, we'll let you know. So.
Is it being treated as suspicious?
Well, at this stage, because the nature of how he was located, and when you have an undetermined cause and something doesn't quite stand out right, then at this stage it is being treated as suspicious until we can rule that out otherwise.
Yesterday, WorkSafe, as I believe, hadn't attended the scene. Have they gone there today?
No, there'd be no reason for WorkSafe to go there. So.
Have police attended any incidents at that warehouse before?
I don't have those details specifically. I'm not quite certain on that. So there's probably a lot of businesses around there that we've been to number of times over years in that general area, so for that specific place I can't tell you. So
there's another man who was missing in a regional area of South Australia. That's now 2 people. Are police resources being spread out?
Oh look, we've got our resources to where we need them. As I said, for the primary one up at Yunta with Gus, significant resources out there, and also for the other gentleman out on the Eyre Peninsula. So we've got our resources that we need to do both those searches in the manner that we actually do need to do them. So.
Do any additional resources need to be brought into the state?
No, not into the state, no.
Got the photos for some cutaways first?
Yep.
Sure. Do you want to move the lectern out of the way, or?
Probably don't
Maybe
need